of individual silent prayers, please, so we can invite in the midst of God, please. Amen, amen. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to recognize the presence of our Deputy Minister 2, Finance, who has gracefully consented to co-chair this particular meeting. A big round of applause, please. And we are looking forward to the Deputy Minister of Environment and Climate Change to also support the chairing of this particular gathering. On that note, I would want to quickly pass the mic. For all of us, you just state your name and the institution which you are representing quickly, please.
I am Tamba S. Bundo, Senior Tourist Officer, Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs.
Good morning. Andrew Sama, founder Green Tech Bioenergy.
Good morning, everyone. I am Florence Koa, Banking Officer of Union Trust Bank.
Good morning, everyone. I am Mabinti Pamela Cabo, representing Sopio.
Good morning, all. I'm Augustine Eli, Program and Partnership Manager, SMIDA.
Good morning, everybody. I am Ibrahim Sorisuma, a teacher coordinator from Collegiate Junior Secondary School.
Good morning to you all. My name is Hedrick Sheriff Barrow, teacher coordinator, Collegiate School.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Abubakar S. Kagbo, teacher coordinator of the Prince of Wales Senior Secondary School.
Good morning, Issa Samoa, Prince of Wales Secondary School.
Good morning, Jim Samba from Children in Crisis Primary School.
Good morning, Ibrahim Elbari, teacher coordinator, Sengbepie.
Good morning, Saboya from Banana Island, Buffer Resort.
Good morning. I am Joseph Sao Musa Basa. I work for the Environment Protection Agency as a manager attached to the Research Policy and Innovation Directorate.
Good morning, Mohammed A.M. Bangura is my nomenclature, teacher coordinator, Ahmadiyya Muslim Senior Secondary School, Freetown.
Assalamu alaikum, JB Amara Ahmadiyya.
Good morning, Abubakar Sise, Chairman, West Management Association, SL.
Good morning, my name is Joseph Bryant, CEO of Free World Development.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Louise Twining Ward from the World Bank.
Thank you, everyone. Okay.
Yeah, good morning, Mina Alaji S.Y. Ture, Atlantic Lumley Hotel.
Atlantic Hotel.
Good morning, Alan Mary Jallo, Project Coordinator, SLEDP.
Good morning, everyone. Amira Halabi from the World Bank Consultant.
Good morning, everyone. I am Larry Fofana, Communications Specialist, SLEDP.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. So, quickly, some couple of announcements. I know there is no inscription there, but if you want to access the restroom, you can access the restroom through that door over there. And yeah, I think that's the most and crucial important announcement I need to make. Well, I started on by recognizing the presence of Deputy Minister to Finance, and I already introduced him as one of our co-chairs for this meeting. May I, though thinking that I was not jumping the gun, but for now I think I have the standing to say I can introduce him just like that. Our Deputy Finance Minister too, and our Deputy Minister of Environment will be chairing this session. Another round of applause, please. So I want to gracefully pass on the mic to our chairman in person, and possibly when the Deputy Environment comes again, they will see how they could carry on the activities of chairing this meeting. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much. Shall I say Mr. MC? Mr. Jao. Yes. We've seen the past week, we've been engaged in the Go Circular, and I'm quite pleased with the progress so far. This is picking momentum, and as a government, we're excited that we are seeing this type of trajectory. I see today we are here with participants within these industries for them to have an understanding of the private sector, the NGOs, the donors, for them to know what we've been doing so far, and at the end of the day, understand the whole concept on circular economy, and with the highlights of what we've been doing during the event week. I know there is next steps. At the end of the day, once we'll be able to deliberate, we'll be able to come out with the next step, and this might transform to something tangible. But as a minister in charge of finance, it behoves on me to note our policy directives. So permit me to give some policy statements on behalf of the Ministry of Finance. Again, I was part of the panelists, and I think I'm getting excited more on this Go Circular. But the traditional take, make, or dispose economies have devastating impact on the people and the environment. Sierra Leone is not an exception. However, the circular economy model has potential to trigger far-reaching change and put the world on track to achieve United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. With the predominant approach to economic growth, which has created vast amounts of waste to profit relatively to few people, a circular model could treat waste as a design flow and generate more distributed and inclusive system. However, the government of Sierra Leone has made significant progress as it has developed the National Plastic and Plastic Waste Management Bill to address the pressing issues of plastic waste. As critical ministries of government in the circular economy, this important engagement offers an opportunity for us to rethink, redesign, and conceptualize the Sierra Leone circular economy to better address human needs and make more efficient use of our natural resources and its relative nascent state, which makes it good for innovation. It is imperative to note that financial firms and other investors need to zero in on the environment, social, and governance consideration. This is a significant step in the country's collective commitment to sustainable economic growth and environmental sustainability. Last week, we launched the Go Circular Week with the theme, Our Beach, Our Environment, Our Responsibility. Go Circular Salon 2025 framework demonstrates our commitment to Sierra Leone's economic environment and sustainability, community development, and playing a broader role in society which aligns with His Excellency's Big Five game changer for a prosperous and self-sustaining nation. Sierra Leone, I must note, has made significant progress in mainstreaming the circular economy towards meeting the Paris Agreement, Sustainable Development Goals, and African Union Agenda 2023 targets. As a climate resilient nation, we are faced with this critical challenge of waste management whilst fostering economic growth. Though Sierra Leone is greatly blessed with abundant natural resources, the challenge is harnessing these resources for economic development. I'm pleased that we've seen some significant progress. We've seen companies coming up in this particular setting. Sierra Leone's natural resources are shaping the future, but we must add value to these resources to reap the benefits. By the year 2050, more than 2/3 of the global population is expected to be living in cities, compared with less than 1/3 as recently as 1950, according to the United Nations. Urban centers are suffering from the effect of current take, make, dispose economy, which has them consuming more than 75% of the world's natural resources, whilst producing more than half of the global waste and generating between 60 to 80% of global greenhouse gas emission. As a circular economy could provide a way to rethink and reshape how cities make and use things they need and enable new ways to ensuring big long-term prosperity. The implementation of a circular economy through integrated approach could bring economic and environmental benefits whilst making cities thriving places where productivity is boosted by reducing congestion, eliminating waste, and reducing unnecessary costs. The financial sector can play a decisive role in mitigating the risk inherent in linear economic models and in transitioning into a more resilient circular economy. Finance plays a pivotal role in adopting circular thinking at scale, not least by allocating the necessary capital to boost related projects, fund the necessary research, and build enabling infrastructure in the form of a safe and renewable material and product. There is a growing amount of interest in environmental and socially responsible investing. As of 2020, sustainable investing assets, those purchased by institutional investors like pension funds that takes into account environmental, social, and governance factors in Europe and US and Canada, including Japan, Australia, and New Zealand, total 35.5 trillion according to the Global Sustainability Investment Alliance, a 15% increase compared with 2018. Yet, many circular economy investment opportunities remain untapped. However, the financial sector can encourage and support business transitioning into a circular model by providing more related financial solutions and advisory services, and by owning their understanding of the particular risk and returns of circular businesses model to help firms reorientate strategy accordingly. The critical role raw material plays in national development and sustainable prosperity, identifying several reasons why raw materials are critical to development, including their roles as fundamental input in production processes, their impact on the quality of final products, and their potential to create new markets and improve trade balance. To achieve economic prosperity, as ministers, we need to advocate through policy development of raw material into useful industrial inputs, emphasizing research and development to drive innovation and industrialization, leading to economic growth and prosperity. Emphasis also on the importance of education on raw material and their potential to promote value addition, reduce dependency on imports, and foster stability and supply chain management. As ministers of government, we should institutionalize coordination, collaboration, and approve an action plan program with a strict implementation timetable, which include a series of policy decisions on governance and efficiency of waste collection, management, and raw material utilization in the circular economy. Allocation of financial support to municipalities is critical to promote integration between the public and private sector. Within the framework of the Actions Program, we should leverage the policy environment, reviewing the existing legal and institutional framework to ensure its sustainability, suitability to the various environmental changes and challenges. Building models of sustainable cities characterized by attractiveness, innovation, adaptability, and resilience, and improving the management of their natural and human resources responsibly and efficiently is much needed. This is in addition to the rebuilding and monitoring and reporting system and the creation of specialized teams for this purpose. Manufacturers in Sierra Leone should support raw materials education to ensure long-term resource availability, enhance supply chain resilience, drive innovation and efficiency, strengthen corporate social responsibility, and support circular economic principles. The imperative for stakeholders to come together, the researchers, the academia, the industrialists, and government to build a vibrant and industrial competitive environment for sustainable nation cannot be overemphasized. A circular economy could generate a wealth for new investment opportunities and direct trillions of dollars in global capital in search of profit in ways that manage to protect the environment and bolster social fabrics. Finally, there is a need to establish a comprehensive system for waste management and recycling in accordance with the latest waste management treatment and disposal technologies in a safe, environmental, and socially responsible manner, and to transform them into resources that can be used in the economic and environmental field. I thank you. So thank you very much. This is just our policy direction. I wanted him to understand the policy direction of where we want to go as a government and quoting the global perspective. So I'm happy that we have players here today. So I will expect the conversation to go in such a way that we can be able to address some of those benchmarks that I've highlighted. And I see my sister coming. And we have been working very well in terms of climate finance to support the environmental ministry. We work as a team. So it's not surprising that whenever issues around environment, the Ministry of Finance are very included. Because we believe, as I said in my statement, there are a lot of challenges happening in the world in terms of adaptation. And as a member of the Coalition of Finance Ministers for Climate Change, we have been working on how we transition into a better, sustainable manner, how we can improve our economies. Currently, Africa is one of the worst states in the world, and we're not been benefiting from some of the damages. We are not the one causing the damages on climate. And plastic is one of the things affecting the coastal areas. We saw what the Minister of Fisheries said in an intervention. We can talk a lot about what those plastics do, but those plastics are very important. We can use the plastics in a lot of things that can benefit us socially and in a profitable manner. So I want to ensure that at the end of the day, players in these industries will come up with formidable strategies to see how we as a government can support. We have been doing our own, but I believe whatever you see here today will form a benchmark for us to improve on whatever we've been doing. So I want to welcome you, Madam Minister. I've just listed some highlights of what the government is in terms of our policy directive, and I hope that this session today will bring out viable, progressive benchmark for us to move forward. So you're welcome. I don't know if maybe I can give you some minutes to rest a bit, or maybe you just want to make an opening comment so we can progress. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister of Finance. Thank you, sorry for coming late. Thank you very, very much for everybody for making it a priority to be here, because this is very important. We've gone through a whole week of events and we've heard from various sectors what the problem really is. That's why we decided in the program that we end with finance, because we know the constraints of actually getting rid of these plastics in our environment. So, Mr. Deputy Minister, that's why we're here at our last day of this event, and we'll be closing it with our awards night. And I'm looking forward to contributions, even though we've had quite a lot, because one thing I'm very happy about is that we already have established associations that are ready to work with the government in terms of plastic pollution and how we can manage and recycle our plastics as well. So I'm also looking forward to this body to make their contributions, to see how we can help these associations to get rid of these plastics, and also how we can support the Association of Recyclers to transform these plastics into something useful that can come back into our economy and create wealth for people as well as jobs. I think I'll stop there and wait. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think we need to progress now that we have made our individual statement. I don't know if there is anybody from the World Bank here or Ministry of Tourism to make a statement. The World Bank? Tourism, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning, our Honorable Deputy Minister, the Deputy Minister of Environment, the organizers, World Bank, and the private sector, Recyclers Association, Waste Collectors Association, and others. Good morning. We are the primary beneficiary of all what we are doing within this week. On behalf of the ministry, we are grateful for your commitment to this week activities. First, permit me, on behalf of the ministry, to take an excuse for their absence today. It's not deliberate, it's because of clash of programs. You know, ecotourism is all, which is sustainable tourism, is all what we are aiming at. And our ministry is having this year as a year of ecotourism. And today, they are having a float parade, which I couldn't have been here, but because it is so necessary and very much important to our ministry, I was sent here to represent the ministry. Our leadership are engaged in that national activity. On that note, please realize that their absence is not deliberate, and accept their support. Now, our islands, all of this last week, we launched where policymakers made their statements, which we have documented, and we will make follow-up on those policy statements that our colleagues, including ourselves, we made in the launch. And also, we are happy we have got associations, Waste Collectors Association, Recycling Association. We are asking that we all continue to collaborate. We continue to work. And we also, they engage our hotels, and the commitment we have made, some promises of checklists, how they commit themselves to how they will help reduce plastics. Also follow-up will be made on this. And then we had sand mining. We have communities that gave salient proposed policy decisions. It was like engaging them, getting from them knowing what are the challenges, what are the solutions. Some of their statements, we are suitable for inclusion in any policy development. And yesterday, we are having again composting, training of schools, training of hotels, how they can reduce organic waste. They can return it to compost. This is all in our interest and in the interest of the country. Ecotourism, as I said, is all, ecotourism and waste management is all preaching about sustainability, sustainable tourism. All what we are doing, all what the World Bank is doing is how we can go to sustainable tourism. When we say sustainability, how you have consideration for the social, how you have consideration for the economic, how you have consideration for the environment. In whatever activity you are doing, you are not the last user. You will not be the only user of our beaches. You will not be the only user of our environment. It is a stage. You have to use it responsibly and then leave it or maintain it as you met it. So this venture is resonating with this year's themes, ecotourism. And ecotourism, if we could turn it another way around, is nature tourism. Nature tourism, when you are talking of nature tourism, you have to be eco-friendly. You have to be friendly to the environment. You have to have love for our animals. You have to have concern for our beaches. You have to make them pristine so that our tourists could come and have a good experience. If you look at some documentation here, if they show us our beaches, I don't think you'll be happy to post that nature of our beaches internationally. You drive, you scared away tourists, potential tourists. I think you'll be proud to show river number 2 to international communities, but you will not be proud to show Mahera Beach as it was before this activity begins. You could not show it to the international community. You could not market it. Many countries are relying, they are island countries. They are island countries. They depend on beaches. Their only source of income is beaches and islands. So if we are having this in abundance, it's but fitting for us to take all what we are doing this week and all what we did last year, for us to take it and maintain it. I am praying we should not stop here. Our concern this week, how can we make this sustainable? About sustainability. I was about to ask the organizers, is there any exit strategy? Is there any continuity strategy when you will be leaving us? What's your advice? Where next can we go? You need to give us some lessons learned, some advice, some financing windows where we can continue. You know, all our concerns, even in this climate change, international climate change business, all concern is going about developing countries, how they find it difficult to manage themselves. We still rely on you. Project hardly caught finally. One project calls another project. I see this project as a very first project, and I don't see it as a project that should not call a younger brother behind. I see it as an opener, door opener to many other projects. We can get several other projects. We can go and lobby. If there are any financing windows, if not only World Bank, but you please link those associations to those financing windows, expose them to those financing windows, so that all those agencies, all those associations that have been formed, they will not lie in silos. That is our appeal as Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs. And also, we are so happy, you see, you are helping. If you can see in many videos, all throughout the first 1 year to this year, the minister herself has been engaged in cleaning Lumley Beach, putting her hands. Sometimes I felt it for her, risking herself cleaning the beach. You see her physically in all the beaches, cleaning, leading the way. So it's an Achillean problem. We are all called to action. And we have partnership and collaboration. This movement is the core of our minister. She believes in partnership. What we are doing today, your presence here today, is partnership. And when they say partnership, it's collaboration, it's participation. We are expecting your participation. We are expecting your continuous involvement. Sometimes we build on ideas. Sometimes we don't go international. Your small organization, try to form network. Try to go online and see where you can seek finance. Which international organizations are doing similar things? These are new things. These are new things we are doing now, which have finances. As the Deputy Minister of Finance said, is go and search where you can have funding so that you can help us. I want to stop here. I want to remind you that at the end of the day, World Bank is still supporting us to develop island and beach management policy. And all what we are discussing here will be filled into that island and beach management policy. I want to thank you.
Thank you very much. And I think you did justice to the statement. Indeed, we've seen over time the work of the Honorable Minister of Tourism. She is so passionate about the environment, and she has been going up and down promoting. And I heard that today they are doing a float parade on the ecotourism, and because she's so dedicated, and we are happy that our representative has done justice to it. So thank you very much, sir. And now we need to progress. I think next we have the World Bank to just make a statement. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, we're getting the hang of it. I am just so humbled to be here again on what I think is the 4th PLP meeting, Plastic Leadership Platform, and to see the 5th, I'm corrected, the 6th, oh my goodness. It's not a project, it's a movement. And that, my friend from the Ministry of Tourism, is the sustainability plan. It's the movement, it's about involving everyone. And it's so wonderful to see that this has grown from a small group of hoteliers, a small group of government officials who are passionate about these topics, to really be embraced. And I have to thank particularly the Deputy Minister of Environment and Finance for their support for the initiative along the way. And of course, thanks to our project coordinator of SLEDP, Mary Jallo, who's sitting right here and has been hand in hand with this project the whole way. So we've achieved a lot this week, so much more than we expected, and the movement has grown. This time last year, it was mainly government, banks, donors around the table. Now we have small businesses, we have schools represented, and therein lies the future, right? The future of change, a difference, a new approach to waste management. Over the week, and we're going to highlight a few achievements of the week today, we've not only had 2 waste management and recycle associations launched, we've also seen small businesses and highlighted their commitment to circular economy. The World Bank is really interested in this topic, not just as a tourism protection movement. This is about jobs. And I think that was not clearer than anything else on Friday at the Waste Management Forum when the mayor spoke, the association spoke, and we could really get a feeling for how many jobs there is a potential to create in this sector. The jobs of the waste collectors, the jobs of the recyclers, the jobs at the recycling plant, the jobs for those purchasing recycling materials. So it's really quite a complex and interesting value chain, and I think it would behoove us to get some numbers behind how big this can be. And the same obviously goes to be said for the coastal communities. What a huge change occurred last week in Mahera when 40,000 tons of plastic were collected from that beach in just a short space of time. I hear one woman alone earned $400 for the plastic that she collected. That's not just in 3 days, that is a few months of work. But this is really the sustainability plan, to go back to your question again, right? How do you not just clean up the beach? Because that's long-term, costly activity for government. How do you make sure that the private sector can be involved in this, that the jobs are created, and this is an activity that can be sustained, right, on its own, without donors, without government? That's our plan, right? The plan is to enable the stakeholders to maintain the momentum. And I talked earlier to some of the schools who were saying, well, we need materials for composting. Actually, it's one of the cheapest things that you can do. You just need a good pile, right, and some knowledge. So World Bank is really interested in this from the jobs perspective and also from the knowledge perspective. How can we share knowledge on how to treat waste properly? How can we connect schools, not only reduce waste in hotels and schools, but also connect you to recyclers, right? So there is some monetary value and approach to this so that this system can be maintained. We've started this just looking at how to reduce plastic in hotels. Right? We know that's not enough, but it was enough to create some awareness. Now it's about making sure that that plastic goes to recyclers that turns it into some new product. So it's not just take, make, dispose, but take, make, remake, take, make, remake. This is circular economy. And that those beaches also are connected to recyclers. So it's really about a network. And I want to encourage all of you today to not leave without being connected on some of the WhatsApp groups that are working on this, right? So that you can exchange information, so we can build this network, because that's what it will sustain it beyond donor funding. No one wants to be involved in a project that has an end date, right? This is not a project anymore. It's really about a movement, and tonight we are very excited to be recognizing those who have been champions of the movement. So thank you all, particularly thank you to our hosts, and I wish successful deliberations today. Our goal is to set the goals, right? What can we do in schools, in hotels, with the Recyclers Association, with the coastal communities to ensure that sustainability? And we have about 8 months to make that plan complete. Thank you.
Thank you very much from the World Bank. You've heard from the World Bank. They are doing their part, and today we're here to recognize the leaders in this sector that are making it. It's important, as noted. The education goes on from the school, from the hotels, everywhere. We as citizens need to ensure that we treat the environment very well. And I believe if we treat the environment well, it will reduce the responsibility by government. The more that we will take to protect the beach, other things. And I'm happy to know that the Plastic Act will come up very well, which will prohibit people to use plastic harmfully. And also, we will, as a government, will inject additional taxes to discourage the practices of bad plastic management. So we're happy that the World Bank has a 8-month plan. But the key here is sustainability. They will do their best, but we as citizens will ensure that we sustain the process to protect our environment is critical. And throughout this process of sustainability, to create jobs, And we all know the commitment by His Excellency to create 500,000 jobs. I believe this industry alone can give a lot of jobs and in that sector. So I will encourage people here today that are going to receive awards, and even those that are not receiving awards, to be an ambassador in ensuring that we progress on this particular aspect of protecting the environment and the better use of plastic. So maybe I want to have my co-chair to just make a statement in this regard.
Thank you very much. I was just going to add to say the awards night is not just going to be for 2025, it's going to be continuous. Every year, we definitely have 1 week in February called the Go Circular Week. So then definitely next year we're going to have Go Circular Week 2026. And at the end of the week, we're still going to do awards. So for those who haven't got green, you can still talk to them, encourage them. And if you're here today and you don't get to get an award, you can still have an award next year, because it's going to be a continuous thing. But I want to say, in terms of what Louise has just mentioned, in terms of sustainability, I said yesterday, Tuesday, in my speech, that I don't think as Sierra Leoneans we have to sit and wait for donor money to clean our country. We have to take it as our responsibility. It's not something to say, oh, well, the project has ended, so taking care of our environment should end as well. This is something we should take pride. This is something we should take pride in doing. And I must say, honestly, for me, it's saddening and it's very disappointing that we even have to wait for donors' money to clean our own country. Let's be fair and be frank with ourselves. I mean, the plastic that we see all around us didn't drop like manna from heaven. We actually created it by just not managing it well, not making sure we dump our plastics where we are supposed to put them. We have bins in our homes. If you don't find bins on the streets, put them in your bag. When you get home, put it in your dustbin, and make sure you get the right people to collect your waste. I'm glad that now we have launched officially National Association for the Sierra Leone Association for Waste Management, and I'm sure those that are here representing that particular association, you will make sure that you organize yourselves in such a way that you will visit every home, get more people on board, encourage more people to go into waste management, so that you people can be champions of what we are sitting here today discussing. And for the recyclers, Mr. Deputy Minister, I want to say thank you very much that the Ministry of Finance is actually supporting what we are doing. In fact, I must say, even the minister himself, if he wasn't busy, he would have been here. He actually expressed his utmost desire to support this particular movement, because cleaning our environment is something we should take pride in doing. And they are ready, as the Ministry of Finance, to consult financial institutions as well, to see how they could support recyclers. I know it is not easy to set up businesses and all that, but we want to reassure you that this government will do everything it takes to see how best we can support your associations, and as well as boost our tourism sector, because tourism, everyone knows, everywhere in the world, they are key when it comes to the development of the economy. They play a vital role. The more tourists you get into the country, the more foreign exchange you have. And when the foreign exchange booms in your country, definitely what happens? The inflation will come down. So for us to see the Leone and the dollar at this stage, where they are right now, even though my government has done quite a lot, and I must say kudos to the President and to the Ministry of Finance for maintaining the dollar rate and the pounds, including the other foreign exchange, where they are right now. But we can have that reduced tremendously if only we take care of our environment. Environment is key in every sector. Every sector. You come to the health, environment is key. You come to tourism, is key. You come to education, is key. You come to whatever it is, environment is right in the middle. So when you take care of the environment definitely in turn will take care of you. So go circular.
Please give her a more clap, another one, please. You know, we as a government, we believe in our women. That's why you see what has happened in the gender space. Our women are progressing, and we are so happy for them. And I just want to add to what you've just said, that we have the banks. I believe we have the banks here. Please, I want more involvement in the banks in supporting this industry and also creating the special incentives in terms of reduced rates, because at the end of the day, they're helping the environment. I think we need to proceed, and we now have the PROBLUE team to give us the objectives of this meeting. So a representative of the PROBLUE team.
Thank you, Deputy Minister, too. Quickly, this is the outline of all we're going to be talking about here today. We're going to look at the objectives. We're going to recall some achievements we've done, talk about some of the activities that we've recently witnessed under the Go Circular 2025, and then the D-Day or the DR of this moment is to have a roundtable discussion so we can set the pace for next steps. So, quickly, we want to, because this is a public-private platform on plastics, we want to deliver a kind of an update and also get the private sector and the concluding statements of the Deputy Minister to Finance. It was very clear. He was just stepping into my shoes to say we want to see more involvement of the private sector, with specifics here on the commercial banks. So we want to have that kind of conversation in this room to see how we can get the private sector to kind of increase or strengthen the arm of incentivizing circular economy. And further to this, we'll also be discussing the next steps. Ensure that where do we want to see by 2026 what we should be talking about in this era. So quickly, let's see what are the deliverables for 2024, the previous years. So again, for you to come up with a particular action or you want to set a particular policy, research precedes, right? So this is one of the study that was undertaken, and it's actually in the World Bank website. You can access it. Is to undertake a kind of a clear assessment of plastics in the tourism sector, right? That is one we have done, and it is there for everyone to be informed. That is the scan, yeah. Please. There is so much in there that creates, that sets everything as to what we are talking about here today.
The idea of that report was really, what are the numbers? How big is this problem? Whenever anyone is trying to address a problem, they need to know whether it's a business problem or a government problem or a policy problem or a funding problem. They need to know, how big is this problem? And that was what the diagnostic is about. So there are some numbers in there that helped. And I think this was really instrumental in getting this plastic leadership platform started, because Ministry of Finance suddenly realized how big this problem was. Ministry of Environment and Ministry of Tourism then committed to work together on it.
So, these are like what that study led to, right? So we had the plastic waste management policy. This, I must say, that study led the government of Sierra Leone to adopt its first national plastic and plastic waste policy in Sierra Leone. We've never had one before. And in that policy, there are actions generated in that policy. And one of them is to authorize the Ministry of Environment to come up with drafting instructions. Those instructions have been done. Nationwide consultations were held, and instructions are now in the office of the Attorney General for appropriate drafting and seeking second cabinet approval before heading to Parliament. That's the early adopters program. You know, we realized if you just notice our initial data, the 42 million pieces generated from the tourism sector. So we had to launch what we refer to as the green labeling reward within the tourism sector. So we brought together kind of a number of hotels, beach bars, restaurants to kind of start talking about reduction possibilities, plastic reduction possibilities within their establishments. Okay? So this particular scheme is, as we speak, is currently being pursued. Okay.
In terms of the policy, what we did with the plastic policy, we made sure we sent out questionnaires to all 16 districts. We went in there together with PROBLUE and World Bank and my ministry, the Ministry of Environment, and the Ministry of Local Government also was with us. We consulted the manufacturers, the users of the plastic, the market women, the councils, all sectors, including government ministries and agencies. So what we have in there is a combination of contributions from everybody, you know, that we consulted. It was well done.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Minister. So that is to kind of set, the regulations, because anything you do, they should be guided by laws, right? That is already on course. You will see under this program, we had about 20 hotels. We're looking forward to strengthening this number and also increasing, trying to get more people to participate in this scheme.
And Ali, before you move, the Green Rewards scheme was launched on Monday this week. The hotel said, yes, we want to be part of this. It would really help us to get more hotels to join this 20, more bars, more restaurants, if there was a little incentive, right? And that incentive was generously offered by the EPA to reduce the EPA license for those who are certified. The National Tourist Board then matched it, right, to provide marketing benefits and another package of green rewards. We do hope that over time more rewards are added to it. That's why it's called Green Rewards with an S, right? This is just the start. We'd like to see a package of benefits, and hopefully the banks will join as well, reducing interest rates on investments in environmentally friendly products such as solar panels and other things.
Great. So it's a movement, right? Started from hotels, now we bringing in schools, we're looking forward to the banks. That's it. The sooner you start seeing lots more results on this. Another scan, please. If you want a lot more information on the guidelines that were created, drafted for hotels, so if you are from that particular industry or you intend going into that industry, please you can just scan and get further information on that. So if you are a hotel operator, these guidelines will help you.
And if you can't scan, you can just take note of the name, right? And if you Google it, it should come up on the World Bank website. You should be able to download it when you have good internet. So if you put in single-use plastic reduction guidelines for hotels and restaurants, maybe add Sierra Leone, you'll be able to find it.
Good. Well, we are looking at the second Go Circular Week. Last year, we had the very first Go Circular Week. These are all deliverables that were listed in that particular study. It's a way of increasing the level of awareness so people keep thinking about, how to go about addressing this issue of plastic pollution. So since the 20th, we had from the Deputy Minister of Environment that come 2026, we also look forward to a similar disposition for the Go Circular Week, and so on and so on, inshallah. Today, we have a plastic leadership platform. This is also another outcome of that particular study, that we should be talking about this. And as you've heard, this is the 6th that we've been having in Sierra Leone, both public and private sector talking about plastic issues. And I will not conclude. With this PLP, we also need to be mindful of the results, what we've actually achieved as a PLP. You heard from the Deputy Minister too, that in fact, yes, they are looking forward to increasing the levy on plastics and also trying to incentivize the alternative sector. We must congratulate the Minister of Finance Act of 2024. That was the very first time that we saw the ministry coming forward with a levy on plastic products. Well, for now, they've started with beverages and not for water. You can see that there is an incentive which they've created, okay? If you are in the business of importing plant machinery, equipment, manufacturing paper bags, cotton bags, compostable bags, these are all environmental friendly products. The ministry is giving you, I think, a 5 years tax-free. You stay, you do whatever, and that is a big achievement of PLP. Then they didn't stop there. In the same act, they introduced a levy, right, to the plastic carrier bags, these black plastics that you see all the time, everywhere. People, in fact, they are single use. And also the, like I said, the plastic bottles for water. I'm sure the ministry will be very crafty to see what is the outcome of the carrier bags and the like, but I'm sure they will someday go to water because they have the same environmental impact.
Thank you very much. This is the way we operate. We need to encourage investors to come in. And I can tell you, once we're able to get tangible investment into compostable bags, cotton bags, we are definitely going to increase the tariff, and to the extent that it discourages anybody to bring plastic bottles, because that's the way we manage it. We are observing the process, and we are calling on investors within this cycle, okay? If you have bringing equipment to do bags and all the rest, please come to see us. We can help you to get tax-free on some of these machineries. And if the investment is within certain range, we can even give it tax holidays so that you can improve on those investments. So I just want to encourage you that as a government, we are mindful, we are developing policies that can reverse the order in terms of plastic use. Thank you.
A big round of applause, please. A big one, big one. Aha, that's it.
I just want to add to that, Ali. I think there's a huge opportunity in compostable agricultural bags. When we did the initial study, we found actually the largest number of bags in Sierra Leone were actually not water sachets, although that might have changed in the last couple of years because there's been a huge shift there. But it was actually in those plastic bags that you use around nursery trees in the agricultural sector. So I think that's a great opportunity, much easier for farmers, right? Just put the plant right in the soil and let it biodegrade in the soil, not have to deal with the plastic, not have to deal with the runoff that's created by the plastic or the flooding. So I want to encourage those of you who are innovators, and I know we have some in the room, that is a big opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I want us all to give another round of applause to the Minister of Finance. Because, you know, whilst we are going around doing our consultations on this policy, questions came up as to, well, when I say we not use them plastic, they are sell water. Waiting now we go do. How we go just change. So this, what you just said, is going to be a step forward to encourage all those manufacturers as well as market women that are into plastic sachets and bottles to change, give them the period to change from using those to using the biodegradables, the paper bags and all that before you finally levy the interest rates on the plastic bottles or, you know, yeah, that's good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, you see the logo there, and I can tell you, even including all of the successes that we've been talking about, is actually being managed, kind of couched, by the Sierra Leone Economic Diversification Project. A big hand for that, for Madam Jallo, please. You see, the project was issuing out grants, matching grants, right? So they had their standards and all of it. But it's important that we also kind of have a consideration for those businesses that are actually in the circular economy space, right? And I would say, I don't have the figures with me, but I would say a greater proportion of the funding was actually directed to those businesses that are in the circular economy space. So a very big round of applause for the World Bank, able TTL for that project. And then, of course, Madam Jallo. I also want to recognize the chief economist, who has also been very, very instrumental in negotiating all of these issuance or running of the project. Okay, then we move on to the green taxonomy. This is also another outcome. See, when you do a study, there are recommendations. So it means you need to now make the study alive. You bring those recommendations and put them into action. This is green taxonomy. It's all about supporting green business, right? We need to create a platform how we can incentivize that particular sector. We had a strong discussion with the financial sector. You had the deputy minister too, calling on the banks to make a big move in this direction. Our investors here will tell you one of their biggest challenge is the interest rate. So right then, under the green taxonomy, with the Ministry of Environment and the Minister of Finance, we've been working together, honestly, bringing in the governor, the bankers regulator, the Sierra Leone Bank. I say, okay, the Bank of Sierra Leone, right? So this particular discussion. And the good thing is, the Bank of Sierra Leone is also interested in pursuing this to the next levels. But what we have done in 2024 with the big support of the Ministry of Environment, our Deputy Minister here, Madam Nima, I don't know, Yema, Mimi Soba Stevens, frankly. A big round of applause for her, please. She had been on us. Look, Jalo, we need to get this meeting. We need to get these guidelines. Because what was holding us is we never had a clear defined or a clear definition of what we in Sierra Leone will classify as green. So for the past weeks or so, we held our last meeting wherein stakeholders agreed to some basic checklists for us to have as a country to help us make that particular decision. So we also have that in place. So the concept note is available. I mean, we have a WhatsApp group that those have been shared, and also the checklist is also on that particular WhatsApp group. But we'll make it available after formally handing it over to the Ministry of Environment. I think I'll want to take the back seat and get my co-PROBLUE local team member to carry on the discourse. Madam Amira.
Ali, I like you more today. So we will all celebrate the last day of the Go Circular Week and the success. So what happened in the past week? So this is just a quick presentation. We see a lot of familiar faces, but as well we're seeing new faces in the Plastic Leadership Platform meeting. So the week, the theme was our beach, our environment, our responsibility, as it comes from the idea of our phase that we will be presenting, the third phase of this project. It's specifically focusing on the different aspects. Thank you, Luis. It focuses on the environment. It focuses on the beach, in other words, the tourism sector. But as well, it looks into us as community, as people and citizens of Sierra Leone, our individual responsibilities, but as well our common responsibility to preserve our assets in order for us to boost our economy and solve the many issues that we have. So this is the rationale from the Go Circular Week theme. We had how many activities? I cannot. So in 1 week, we had to organize 10 activities, I would say. And then the activities were distributed by theme. And take note, please, because I think Go Circular 2026 will be our responsibility to organize and plan. So we had 10 activities in the past 1 week. We started on the 20th with the launch day. After that, we had the inauguration of the Solid Waste Management Association, and then I will give a little bit of highlights of what I remember, what stick to my mind in every of those activities. And then we have the Tourism Day, the Coastal Community Beach Day, and then we had, unfortunately, we had to put this a little bit on hold for us to make sure that we have the whole infrastructure available, the theoretical and the practical infrastructure available. Today we are here at the Plastic Leadership Platform meeting, and at night we party and we celebrate. We celebrate the people then we then go circular, the people then that are contributing to circularity in our country, the business kind of ecosystem of it, and the organizational ecosystem. And then, yeah, they're gonna make house sleep. So this is our last day. Okay. So we had the first day, been high-level panel discussion. We get representative from different ministries. We got the Deputy Minister of Finance with we. We get Madame Mimi as well with we, the Deputy Minister of Environment, the Deputy Minister of Tourism. We had the Deputy Minister of Local Governance, Minister of Fisheries, and Minister of Education. One highlight, if I remember something from that meeting, I mean, they run all over, but if I remember something from the meeting, was the importance of education and behavioral change for us to be able to have a successful circularity ecosystem in our country. And during the launch as well, we had the showcase, so we can get different type of businesses with and show what they're doing already. The second day, we get the inauguration of the Waste Association. I think this is a moment for we celebrate. We see the partnership, and then we see the unity between the Ministry of Environment and the councils and the actors themselves and the associations here. And one of the main highlights of this meeting, I think the highlight is that the opportunity is here, the manpower or woman power or people power is here. And then we have associations, maybe they used to work individually, but with Abu Bakar's support and his comrades, they are formed into association. And if something that we learn from looking into different kind of sectors is the power of association for them to be able to mobilize and lead into changes, whether national changes or policy changes, or whether into behavioral changes. So I think the association is giving us the hope, is giving us, no, not the hope, it's giving us the argument, the strong argument, the fact that what we're doing is possible, because if we're looking into Go Circular, having an integrated solid waste management systems that has recyclers, has collectors, has the middleman, has the exporters, all the actors in the value chain is important. Let me see what I don't go. So in the first 2 days as well, we had the boot camp, we had the showcase for circular businesses. So we had circular businesses from around the country that had a one-day training at Creative Hub Africa. And then they were pitched, 3 of them or 6 of them presented their businesses during the inauguration meeting, no, during the launch meeting. And yeah, so we had the showcase. And then the Tourism Day is a day that is very close to my heart. So the Tourism Day is the day where we work with hotels, restaurants, tourism actors and to operate the Green Label Reward. So on this day, as Louise mentioned, I think main highlight of this day, we had the Environmental Protection Agency presented the incentive system for hotels that will attend the Green Label Reward. And we're looking into 3 to 10% discount on the license fee of the hotels, the environmental license fee of the hotels. We had the National Tourist Board talking about the marketing advantage that hotels, restaurants, guest house, and tour operators and tourism actors will get access to if they attain the Green Label Reward. But I think another beautiful thing that happened in that meeting is that we got new faces as well. We worked in the past 2 years with 20 hotels, but now in these meetings we have 5 additional hotels that are coming, and hotels and resorts that we know that we love, that are coming and saying, okay, we want to be part of early adopters, we want to be part of supporting and working toward the reduction of single-use plastics, working toward the preservation and conservation of our beaches and our asset that we use as tourism sector. This we get for post small. So the Mahera project, the Go Circular Coastal Community Days. On this day, we really tackle on 2 topics, and hard topics. We tackle on the plastic pollution topic, but as well, one of the topics that we're starting to talk about is the sand mining, okay? It's a very interesting outcome that came out, because the Go Circular community, the way that we're looking at is that it's a community and private sector collaboration. And then with the plastic, in the first session that we had, the communities from Lumley, number 2, Mahera, everything, they were very okay with the idea of having this community and private sector partnership for them to be able to solve the plastic pollution problem. When it's come to the sand mining, it's a little bit more. It's not only community and private sector, it was community, private sector, but government. So I think with the sand mining, we will require more discussions and more stakeholder engagement in that meeting. But allow me small for disturb this presentation. I present to Madame Mimi a video from the Mahera cleanup where happened, 20-second video. Something what you go for, I go finish, and then we go show the video from the Mahera cleanup, okay? This night we get the Go Circular Award, and the aim of it is to recognize circular businesses that's been invested, that's been engaged in circularity for long term, whether they're engaging through waste management, whether they're engaging through alternative production, whether through creativity, and then we have 11 awards, 11 awards distributed into 5 categories. So we get the Youth Award, Innovation Award, Plastic Recycling, Startup, and etc. So this will be happening tonight, okay? I think that's it from my side. Just allow me to take 2 seconds just to play a video from the Mahera activity that happened, very short videos that the videography team helped us to put it together. And then we can move to our next session. No, the video no one for camera. Sorry, IT? Yes, sir. No, this one connect. Technical problem. Maybe. You connect fine. So maybe we can show it toward the end for the sake of time. We can move to the other topic. And then maybe if anyone has a question, comment. Okay. And I go start from first, please. No, not in at the beginning.
Thanks, Amira. It's just so inspiring to see both communities taking charge, right, and ownership of their own environment. And, you know, a huge thank you to our private sector partner, Premier Environment Solutions, sitting right behind me. Walid, raise your hand, for making it possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's it for me.
Thank you very much, Amira. So, reality is, yes. What would I say? What's the sweetest food you guys love? Olele? The olele of the day. Right? Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. A very big thank you, our Deputy Minister. Please, round of applause. So, as we want to chat the next steps, we want to also pass the mic. You've heard from government, you've heard from PROBLUE team, you've had a lot of statements. We now want to pass the mic to all of us seated here. If you could let us know whether you've done something related to what we are saying, or whether you intend to do something related to what we are saying, or whatever, trying to see how you can support the process in moving this particular movement, right? Strengthening the movement as we move forward to 2026. If you could spare maybe a minute or two statements quick, we'll appreciate that. What you've been doing, or if you've not been doing anything, please, let's hear your plans. Thank you very much. You just announced your institution. Yeah. 2 minutes per speaker, please.
All right, good morning. I am Andrew Sanoma. I happen to be the founder and CEO of Green Tech Bioenergy. Of course, I truly wish we would have gotten the Deputy Minister of Finance with us now. I would have asked you guys, everyone in the house, to please give a hand of applause to them for the endless effort they have been truly supporting the initiative of the Go Circular ecosystem. And I also want to extend a gratitude to my dear Madam Deputy Minister of Environment. She has been relentlessly doing amazing work in this space. You know, I happen to be the founder, as I mentioned. We are helping to transform waste into energy. We help farmers, the hospitality sectors, and household by providing a domestic biodigester system where you can able to turn your own waste from your household or your farm into a clean cooking gas and biofertilizer. I think this initiative started 2022. This initiative started due to the desire to address the issue of waste within this sector, which I already mentioned earlier. And having been part of the Go Circular Week for me, that has been one of the things that ever happened to me this February month. And I have seen a lot of things that I would have thought this is the way to do it. But with the help of the Go Circular Week, my eyes are slowly opened a lot. Considering the fact that the journey into addressing the matter of waste does not just limited to the implementers, even the schools that are here today, even the recyclers and other team members are very, very important to make sure that the agenda of transforming waste using the circularity approach is quite vital. And one of the things that happened to us over these years from Green Tech Bioenergy is the fact that access to finance was one of the key things that keep us on the pace to where we are today. I started the journey way back in 2022. I remembered when there was an initiative to turn waste to energy. I have to start with my own little finance from my pocket. The place where I was working then, I have to keep the money to start the company. And I can just imagine if I would have gotten more opportunity of accessing more finance, that time would have been more boosting the energy sectors where I find myself. However, with the help of access to more finance, at the end of the day, we could able to boost the business from ideation stage to that of marketing stage. And today we are so much grateful because we know that if there was no finance, what we are talking about here in this room, I'm very quite sure it will be impossible to some extent. And you all can agree, some of the recyclers, the implementers, you can agree with me that the possibility for us to embark on this journey will be so slim if we do not have access to finance. And that is what the Ministry of Finance is doing here exactly from the presentation we had from our Deputy Minister too. So in a short note, I just want to thank the World Bank team, the SMEDA and all partners involved to make sure that circularity in Sierra Leone is quite possible. So I thank you all for coming, and I am so much grateful to be part of the journey. And moving forward, Green Tech Bioenergy is going to continue to foster the agenda of the Go Circular Week. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Just press the mic.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm Joseph again from EPA. I bring you greetings from the Executive Chairman, Dr. Abubakar Masakwe. I must say, as an agency responsible for the protection and management of the environment, we are very grateful to the World Bank and all partners. Go Circular is very important. I cannot overemphasize the relevance of this event to the agency's mandate. So, just a quick one with regards to what the agency has done so far in managing plastic waste. Sometimes last year, the agency, with support from UNDP, did a youth innovation challenge. We are youth innovators in managing plastic waste. We are mapped out, and out of about 400 that came on board, 3 were actually supported to see how they can scale up their innovation in plastic waste. So one thing that came to mind is about the beach cleaning. We are going to clean the beach, yes. And how are we going to see that the sand, the mineral that we are going to clean remains intact? That is from the presentation from the last Gold Blue. She did say sand mining is a bit of a challenge when it came to how will be the intervention of ensuring that the sand mining is being regulated. I want to see that moving forward, possibly in the next session, how can we deliberate on maybe having a detailed studies on how to develop policies on sand mining. That is very, very critical. From the video that we just saw, the short video, it is very clear that indiscriminate disposal of plastic is very evident. And these plastics do not work all by themselves. They must have been deposited somewhere by somebody. So it's about the mindset. We are cleaning the beach, but is that the end? If the mindset of people who are responsible for indiscriminately disposing this waste are not maybe spoken to or being educated, trust me, we keep cleaning the beach every day. It's going to be a periodic activity, and it involves a lot of money and resources. These are projects. So I want to see possibly a deliberation of stakeholders. How do we ensure that people, the public, the community people who are involved into this indiscriminate disposal actually understands the relevance of responsible management, understands the importance of managing the plastic in the most responsible way. I must use this platform to also say the agency has established a new unit we call Center for Environmental Data and Statistics. The reason for this is to be able to generate reliable environmental data hub for the country. I'm very sure when you use data to inform policy, you are very much sure of having an actionable decision. So, of course, World Bank has always been supportive to the functions of EPA. So I want to see moving forward that we support this center, and we see how we can even generate data that can inform policies. For sand mining, I must say, is very important, because even if we clean that beach and the sand, it's not there, it doesn't make any sense. That mineral is more important. That is the more reason we are cleaning our beaches, to have tourists and all. So if we clean the beach, we must have a system to protect the sand, which is the mineral as well. Moving forward, we'll have detailed deliberations, and I'm very sure EPA is very much willing, very much committed to seeing that our environment is protected. Thank you.
Can you hear me okay? I'm not going to discuss too much on free will development. I'm going to discuss more on the Waste Management Association. First of all, what you were discussing with the data being collected, I think it'll be really good for the association to work close with your team on collecting that data, as everyone who's involved with waste management will be a part of the association, and so we'll have a central point of getting that data and being able to get that data to your team. In collaboration with the World Bank, I think that would be a really good collaboration we can work on. I don't want to focus too much on what's been accomplished, but more so what we can do to strengthen these ideas. There's a lot of talk around plastic. I often want to remind people that when we're talking about recycling, we have to make sure that we're inclusive of all the materials. I would like you to think of it like this. If you go to the beach and you grab all the material and you separate the plastic, but you just move the rest of those materials to landfill, that's equivalent to just finding plastic around money and burying the money and just taking the plastic. Those other materials, such as metal, create another income that can be leveraged to make sure that we're able to properly build out the infrastructure to make sure we are controlling the plastic, because we know the plastic is the #1 problem here when it's coming to flooding, when it's coming to the environment. So we want to make sure that we're inclusive. Also, when it comes to recycling, in order to cut costs down, when you're talking about creating a recycling plant, we want to make sure that we're including the other materials and recycling them together, so that we don't have multiple individual facilities that are making our energy costs higher. And a lot of these recycling materials are using the same machines, such as rubber and plastic. Also, when you're looking at sand mining, one of the solutions that I don't really hear talked about much is the recycling of glass. Glass can actually replace sand. Also, when you're talking about building the bricks from the plastic, rather than mixing it with sand, you can mix it with that crushed glass. So these are all solutions that we need to think about, and we need to think about it as one ecosystem when we're looking at the solutions for plastic as well.
Good morning. Thank you very much. At this moment, I would like to actually extend my thanks and appreciation to PROBLUE World Bank, the Ministry of Environment. I think this is a novelty. For the very first time in the history of Sierra Leone, we are now having a National Waste Management Association. So, and as says by, I think, JFK, he says, a man may die, nation may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. And this is something very, very great. I think 2022, when we have similar association launched by the outgone EU ambassador and the mayor of Freetown, I think those were like also a sunstride for young people in Freetown and beyond. Considering you have 180 groups that are actually on SMEs, on waste management. Initially, we've been hearing about businesses in fisheries, businesses in different areas, but we've not been discussing about enterprises for waste management. So through the Waste Management Association, we are able to expand in forming different waste management groups across Freetown. So I just want to borrow from the words of Louis also, and waste management is not donor-driven, it is business-driven. Today we are talking about unemployment. which I believe is a global challenge. So as a nation, we need to strategize to ensure we're able to tap in different sectors, and I believe from various speakers, the waste sector is very lucrative, and I think with support that I'm now seeing, the commitment I'm seeing from the Ministry of Environment, the Ministry of Finance, and of course, PROBLUE, I think this is laudable. We just need to move from this stage because initially we are talking about service providers in Freetown and the Peninsula. Now we are talking of national association. So you can realize there's a whole lot of work to be done, for us to have a national face, for us to have the value chain, because waste management is a value chain. And I like the inscription on the T-shirt you printed for us. Thank you, PROBLUE. As you can see, that's the 3R for waste management: reuse, reduce, and recycle. So we need to tap into all those areas to ensure, and our young people and our service providers, not even the bigger company, because we cannot be talking all the time about the bigger company in waste management. We need to replicate or cascade some of those ideas for waste management at community level. So now we are trying to implement the 3R for waste management. So therefore, we are looking for a collaboration, continuous collaboration on the side of the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, the Government of Sierra Leone particularly. So we are very, very much happy. Talking about employment, when you have 180 groups, sweeping the streets of Freetown or Bo Kenema Makene, because we are not only talking about Freetown City Council. We are talking about Bo City Council, Kenema City Council. So when you have all of those people, we have a national plan, waste management plan for Sierra Leone. I think that's a bigger picture. When you have a national waste management plan for Sierra Leone, it is a win-win situation. So when we create that kind of synergy, we've been working with different organizations, honestly. They've been doing their best. We work with the EU. They have the EU beach cleanup. We have the IOM beach cleanup. Even at some points, when you have the private sector, like the telecommunication, we have conducted cleaning for like Orange, Sierra Leone. They have Orange Environment Week. So we actually involve strongly in all of those cleaning and provide data, just like how Joseph was saying. And then plastic, we know, is a disaster. We have plastic pollution. But when you are doing a beach cleanup, you realize you'll be able to provide the realistic data. You will know the quantum of garbage that goes to the ocean and how it affects the ecosystem. So I think at this point, we just need a robust approach. There's a call for action. And for all of us, even the private sector, there's a PPP roundtable discussion. That is why I'm happy. We should not be only talking about government. We have the private sector. The banks are here. Of course, manufacturers are here. Let's come together and see how we can develop a national plan for waste management. Thank you very much.
Can I add one more thing? So I just want to add some data to what we're discussing so you guys can understand the size of the market that's available right now. Currently, only 7.2% of global raw material consumption is being used that is recycled. So that means that only 7.2% of raw consumption that's coming in is out of recycled material. So out of what's being requested to be recycled, only 7.2% of the demand is being made. So that means that the market is wide open. So the idea that you're gonna get into a situation where you're collecting certain waste and there's gonna be nowhere for it to go is a virtual impossibility. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about these things.
Hello? Hi. Hello? Hi. Okay, I'm Augustine from SMIDA, Program and Partnership Manager. I bring you greetings from the great SMIDA. And
I will start by saying a very big thank you to the Ministry of Environment and the partners, inclusive, for taking a very laudable and a challenging venture. And I hope that all of us seated here will, one way or the other, contribute to the success of this venture. For SMIDA, this is a very big intervention in the sense this is our baby. I should say it again. Because for SMIDA, being a government institution is there to regulate, coordinate, harmonize, and also improve the well-being of SMEs. And bringing this type of approach to the doors of the SMEs, I think it is a very big thank you message to the organizers. I'm looking at it from different perspectives, wherein somebody said, oh yes, a project. Well, another person said, let us forget about the word project, but let it be a movement that all of us should own it. Now we have started from the urban center. What are the strategies that we are going to put in place? What are the policies that we are going to put in place? What are going to be the regulations, practices that will take us through? On that note, we, SMIDA, as an organization or institution that is gearing towards the development of SMEs, we work in hand and glove with all partners that are gearing towards the development of this particular organization. I thank you.
Hello, good morning to you all. I'm saying many thanks to PROBLUE, environment, the relevant stakeholders that are concerned. I'm craving the indulgence of World Bank to continue this project because more needs to be done. Because I want the least man in the village, my village Yashenge, to know that we should segregate. I want us to all manage our waste properly. Having listened to relevant stakeholders that spoke in the last, they said it takes about 500 years for a plastic solid waste material to be composed. This is very scary. If we do not manage our waste at this time, our marine life will be in danger. If we do not manage our waste at this time, there will come a time when we'll be forced to manage our waste. As such, those cameras that are seeing me here now, that are viewing me now, have their own duty to perform. They have duty to educate people in this country that we need to segregate our waste. We need to segregate our waste because it affects our agricultural resources, farmland, it affects our marine resources, and if we do not do that, it will be okay for us. So, on the bottom line, I want to say that we need to sensitize people, the least man in the village, on how we should manage our waste. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, Madam Minister, the World Bank team, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, colleague teachers. I just want to share my experience after the last session we held with the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. After that particular session, I am Ibrahim Suma, a Nature Club coordinator, collegiate school. We went back to our school a day after we invited the two principals, JSS and the SSS. We met with them, we spoke with them. The meeting was fine. The next day, we tried to invite the market women. There lies our greatest problem. As the moment we told them about plastic, their response was, it's like you want to push us back from selling this place. And with that, how can we afford to pay for our children, their fees, and even our daily bread? But with our own technocrats, we call them, no, this is not what we are after. We are trying at least to do a kind of reduction of what is happening, because I can say collegiates by then, plastics, you know, it was everywhere. But as of now, Madam Minister, we have really done well. We have really done well within the school, and but we need to do more, because it's a kind of a continuous process. You see, then what I want to say again, because we are working directly with the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, that we really want to construct a kind of a compost. You see, so really need your support. Then we need the availability of materials. So with that note, I can stop here. Thank you.
Madam Minister, World Bank team, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am from the Atlantic Lumley Hotel. I am particularly talking on the efforts that we have made as a hotel to help keep the environment clean and better. Basically, when I joined this team as a supporter, there is a lot of garbage dumps around our park, and I can say our park is the only free park you can get at that beach area, and it's a parking lot, but there is a lot of garbage because of the way it is being arranged. It's a free park, and we try to encourage eco-friendly benches so wherein people can sit free and enjoy the ocean. But because of its free nature, people were bringing all sorts of garbage to dump there. But as I continue as a representative of the hotel, I continue pushing both the hotel and the tourist board, because they share the place together. The hotel is doing their best, while the tourist board are lacking during, especially because of the cleaning or its cleaners. So we push it for some time now, and we are getting that understanding, except for few problems, which normally, like some of these cleaners, when I meet them, I tell them that we don't need to encourage a dump there. So they always say, well, the collectors are not coming on time. And due to that challenge, they told me the best thing they could do is to burn this garbage. But I told them that couldn't be a better problem. But since that's their way to solve the problem, I try to understand with them. But I think burning that cabbage there will not solve the problem, because we're thinking of the sand and the destruction of the beauty of the place. However, we have done a lot because it's a shared area. If we push the hotel, they got their limits, and he said the rest is for tourism and it's cleaning partners. But however, we are doing our best to get that understanding, to make that place an example of a good environmental practice. Because had it been for my intervention, that place had become some kind of a bushy place that was not good for our tourists or even for our local tourists or for eyesight. But now, as I'm telling you, if you go there, you will see the development, eco-friendly benches that we get from timber log, and it encourages a lot of people to have a glimpse of the ocean for free, without paying nothing. And I think it's good because, as we said, one step is better than no step. I believe that push that we have made has created a lot of changes at that particular area, because now you go there, you find it clean except for the few dumps, because they are complaining that their collectors are not coming on time. And we don't want them to keep burning those cabbage there. It will also create an unhealthy scene for the onlookers. I thank you all.
Good morning, all. I'm ABS Cargo. Okay.
Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Aminata Duba from Shengbepe Memorial Junior Secondary School, Hamilton Junction. I'm very happy to be here this afternoon. I'm grateful to Waste Management, Madam Ministers, and the World Bank representative. Since I attended this launching last week, I was very happy. This system is part of our constitution that governs teachers. One of our constitutions from Code of Conduct. School environment should be safe and conducive. What will make the school environment to be safe and conducive is cleanliness. It's part of school. School will not exist in dirty. On that note, we say a lot of thanks to Child from Sierra Leone, Child from Quaker. Before now, they have provided us 8 miller bins that we throw dirty. Our environment is always clean because we make sure that the cleaner clean the environment, and our children, we have a slogan in our school that our environment is our responsibility. We don't want to see any, even plastic bag on the floor. I have made the announcement to them on Monday, and I asked them to spread the news in their environment to tell their parents. Even in my environment, I have been telling people now, from that time I have been announcing that we don't want to see any plastic on the floor or any dirty. So I'm very grateful to Madam Minister again and the World Bank representative. I say a lot of thanks to you all. May God be our helper. Thank you all.
Good afternoon, all. I'm ABS Cargo representing Prince of Wales. I will first of all extend my sincere gratitude to the project coordinators and partners. And I believe this program is a very good program they have brought for us in Sierra Leone. And again, what I would like to say, I want to say this program is late. Because years back, I've been in Côte d'Ivoire in the year 2000. This has been one of their acculent tasks in that city. You know, a little child, I was holding something on my hand, and I tried to drop that particular thing. A little child told me, he said, "No, don't do that one." So you see the perspective of us in Sierra Leone, even now as I'm speaking, if you have a sachet of water in your hand when you drink it, then you have no place to drop that sachet. If you go right across the street in Freetown, I think it is an accurate task for the government to put such things in place, because you just find it a place to deposit it. If you go, as I'm speaking presently, you will see many sachets in the streets and litres again. So for us in Prince of Wales, we have been sensitizing our kids that this program is a very, very good program, and it is very plastic, it's very hazardous to all of us in Sierra Leone, and I believe you have to take a very good care of your sachets and your litres, you know. And also, in Prince of Wales, we have more than 3,000 kids, and all of these kids must drink at least 3 sachets. Then if you times that one by 3,000, you know the amount we'll get there. And we have played a pivotal role by telling the kids to drop their litres or sachets somewhere we have located for them. But up to now, we are constrained of getting a unique bin. And the Prince of Wales, we don't have that one. And we are appealing to the coordinators of this particular program that they will afford us in schools areas that we will be depositing these sachets and litres, you know. And we once more thanks the coordinators that this is a very brilliant program they've brought in Sierra Leone, and it's very important for all of us. And we extend the sincere gratitude to PROBLUE, because they are the sponsors of this particular program, and we are expecting them to continue this particular program so that Sierra Leone will be plastic free. You know, I thank you all.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, I came in late. I was on the beach doing beach cleaning with the British High Commission. Prince of Wales School. Mr. Samura was attending a program a couple of days ago. Yes? Okay. We're neighbors. We're in King Tom as well. So I promise that I will find some jumbo bags, big bags, that I'll give you, and you get them to deposit there, and then we will pick them up. And then what I would want to suggest is we set up a fund at the school where whatever, we'll give you an AfriCell number, and whatever we pick up, we pay something to that fund. And as the fund gets more, then we'll see what we could do. Okay, so at least we will do something for the kids, you know, something to show the kids what happens after they do that action. Okay, so I have Samura's number. He messaged me this morning, but I was at the beach. So I'll respond to you and we'll arrange it. Okay? So we would like to do that to other schools as well. Okay? But be patient with us. We will start slowly. Okay, we'll do it. Thank you.
Great. Public-private. This is the platform, yeah, where we have a whole lot of mix solutions are found in this room. Yes, sir, my brother. Quick one. Oh, it's not working? Ah.
Okay. I am from Ahmadiyya Muslim Senior Secondary School, one of the largest school in this nation and with the highest population. We've started before, since last year. First and foremost, I want to thank the World Bank representation, Mr. Jallo in particular, and the hardworking Deputy Minister, Mimi Stevens. They are working, and they will work, and they will continue to work, because we want sustainable development for this nation. They went to our school, and other schools in particular, they explained to us about the hazards of plastic. And the kids asked several questions. In fact, some of them were asking questions pertaining plastic. They were using plastic for fire. They told them about the hazards of plastics. And at the end, they called us on workshop. And indeed, we explained to them. And some of them, as I'm speaking now, we are having 3 bins. One for plastic, the other for bottle, and the other for papers. Whilst I said they are working because a parent walked to school. When that parent walked to school, she was about to drink water, but there was no water. She said she wanted to buy water from a bottle, but we are not having any bottle of water. So they told her to go and buy water from the sachet. When she bought the water, she came and she was asking, where can I drop this plastic? Nobody explained to her. One of the kids in the school said, drop it where we are supposed to drop the plastics. And she dropped the plastic there, and I went to her and asked her, how do you got this message? They said, our kids told us that the hazards of plastic, we should not dump plastic everywhere. So a big kudos to the Deputy Minister and the World Bank representation. We know they are working, and the kids are now explaining to their parents, because most of their parents are illiterate. They don't even know where to drop plastic. And as I am speaking now, we have got several people that are now going to our school to collect bins, plastic, but we do not have areas to sell because the janitors are now working. In fact, the World Bank representation went there and worked with the janitors, and the janitors are now happy, and they are working assiduously for them to get rid of plastic. So a big kudos to them, and we thank them, and we thank the World Bank representation. Mr. Jallo, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, all. As a communications person, I think education is very paramount in terms of changing behavior as to how we dispose of our plastic waste. That's why I'm suggesting that if there are possibilities for us to engage, influencers like bloggers, TikTok campaigns, and see how we can get the youthful population, since they are now tech savvy, they are mostly online, to understand the dangers of plastic waste. We can make TikTok competitions. We can do articles or short videos, encourage incentives for short videos on even traditional media to get them involved in educating. And also there is a need for community outreach, sensitization. You have small group meetings where you'll have in local languages, engage them, talk to them about the dangers of plastic waste and how they can benefit if they properly expose this waste. This will help to change perception, mindset, and then we'll start seeing changes. If we don't do that, we'll be like having the same results. It's like having a kettle which is faulty and we're trying to get water from it, fetch water from it, we'll be having the same result. So let's start with educating people on how to dispose plastic waste. Thank you.
I think we've gotten a lot, solutions as well as problems. So maybe we need to now narrow to how we will move this discussion forward, noting these issues, within the brain. Please. Madam Minister, you want to?
I just want to say thank you to everybody for this particular session. And what you just said, so the last speaker, that was a brilliant suggestion for us to be able to raise the awareness countrywide. And for the speaker before you from the Ahmadiyya Muslim School, thank you very much. I'm impressed that you people actually took actions after we left your school, and you are making a great impact, not only in your school, but also in your community, and the kids are taking it home to their parents. I hope other schools will also emulate what you're doing, and this will help to raise the awareness for us, for people, our people, to understand the way forward to reduce the plastic waste all around us. For the speaker from the Prince of Wales, I want to say, you know, schools, I have a school as well. So I know schools generate money from school fees. If you can include something on waste pollution in your fees, I think you'll be able to manage your waste problem very, very well. You're able to provide the bins for your schools. You don't have to depend on government to give you bins for your schools. These are things that we as Sierra Leoneans should take responsibility. That's why we are saying, take ownership of this movement. What will be your own contribution in making sure that we eliminate plastic pollution in our country? And that could be one of your own contributions, by making sure your school provides the bins. My school provided bins, and we are doing, we are actually recycling. Sorry, I mean, making sure we differentiate our trash. So you can do that as well in your school. Have bins for every trash have bins for it, which I know you can do. You can include the cost in your fees. I mean, it doesn't cost much. You have over 3,000 pupils, so I'm sure they might not even pay more than 10 leones for you to be able to succeed in that. And thank you, everybody, for all the contributions you have made. And thank you very much to Mr. Walid and team. They have worked tremendously with our ministry in terms of collecting this plastic waste from wherever they hear that, oh, we need support, we need help. They are always willing to say, we will go there and collect your plastic waste. We will go there and collect it. We provide you bags. So, Mr. Walid and team, I want to say thank you very much. We are very proud of you people for the work you're doing, and we continue to work with your team. And we open this also to the waste management team. I want to say thank you very much. I tell you honestly, I felt good. I really felt good on that day that we launched your association, because this means constructive development in our country. And you people have a big role to play. So I want to say kudos to you and thank you for your efforts, and we hope that you continue to support this venture and actually take ownership, as I said, in that particular platform. Take ownership, because everything really depends on you people, you know, and you can create more jobs, you know, get more people into it. And by the time we know it, I'm sure, I'm honestly looking forward to the end of, by mid this year, June this year, I am looking to a cleaner Freetown, a cleaner Sierra Leone, our beaches to be beautiful. Yeah, so I'm really, really depending on you people to work with us. And we, as a ministry, we are willing and ready to support your association in this venture. In fact, we'll be calling a meeting with just you people for us to come and sit down and see and map the way forward to see how we could construct your strategic plan in achieving your goals. Thank you.
So, well, yeah, Lois, you want to just sum up?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for their incredible suggestions, and I have taken note. I have heard that we should continue, Ali, working with banks, not to give up, not to be disheartened, but to redouble our efforts, to work with the banks, to lower interest rates, to enable the small businesses that are going to come up with the solutions, not the donors, the small businesses that are going to come up with the solutions to access finance, number one. Right? Number two, I hear you at the EPA, your request for the World Bank, through the support of the PROBLUE, to support with a detailed study on the impacts of sand mining and the potential policy solutions. We don't want to solve one problem and create another. So let's work hand in hand in that, and we're committed to supporting the protection of the assets on which the tourism industry depends and the people of Sierra Leone depend. So look for us in that. Thank you, sir, for your contributions in terms of communications. I think this is a fantastic idea. PROBLUE, with the support of the, World Bank with the support of PROBLUE would very much like to take you up on your suggestion to redouble our awareness campaigns, competitions on TikTok, social media, encourage all the young people in the room to take up this opportunity. I'll work with Amira here and Ali on an idea for that. So stay posted over the next few months. We'll look to challenge your communicators to really help us spread the message to make sure this movement take hold. For the schools, I think we had a fantastic suggestion from Walid. We had a fantastic suggestion from the Deputy Minister of Environment right now. We will continue to support with capacity building. It's fantastic to hear that what a game changer it was for the school. I think you gentlemen here on the left, I didn't catch your name. But thank you for sharing that example of how kids educated could then help educate their parents, and that's what this is all about. But it's not about 7 schools, right? How many schools are there in Sierra Leone? It's really about, you know, once you've sorted it out, we really like the hotels, and I know we've got a couple of early adopters in the room today. The idea is to create a pilot, right? A small group of champions whose then responsibility is not to say, we're the best, right? It's to then partner with others to spread this movement, right? It's not about just making Mahera beautiful. It's about Mahera informing Lumley, right, and helping to solve that much bigger problem. And then Lumley informing number 2 and Buri and Banana Island and so on and so forth. So it's really about these you champions in the room partnering with others, and that's what the PLP is all about. So we've heard you. We will take up these activities through the life of this project, and thank you again for your support.
So somebody was going to challenge the media, but luckily we had a quick intervention on communications. So I know, fortunately, we have somebody from the financial institutions. I don't know whether you may also want to say something. My lady, do you, related to the financial industry? Just a word or two. Do you consider what we are doing aligned with what the bank is thinking? It is? Great. I mean, so there is an opportunity within the financial sector to actually see how they could also support, you know, this movement. Yep. Great. Thank you very much. That's Union Trust Bank, please.
Actually, in PLP, we know green taxonomy, we always have this meeting once a month with financial institutions. So when we do have one for next month, we see what we can do, definitely. So I'm not expecting you to say anything, because I know you're a junior staff and you don't want to say something that might implicate your job. So don't worry. You understand? Just a quick one. I just want to talk a little bit on the hotels. I mean, thank you very much for the great work you've started doing, but I must say it's high time our hotels take responsibility. Because if you are running business in a particular environment, I think you should just make it your responsibility automatically to clean that environment in which you are generating your income. Because that's where you're making your business, that's where you're making your money. So that should be your responsibility. There are certain things, Sierra Leone, we have adopted this system I don't know, God knows where we took it from, but all of a sudden we have adopted a system of sitting down and waiting. Oh, now government for can't do this. Now government for can't clean me house. Now government for can't clean me street. Before, honestly, even in the villages, they don't wait for government to clean their environment. In the morning, you wake up, when I go to my village, when I wake up in the morning, I see everybody cleaning their streets. They don't have fences. But by the time each house cleans their frontier, the whole place is clean. But this is what we have suddenly in Freetown. We have lost that. And even the businesses, they are even worse off. Because if you go drive along the Lumley Beach, see the amount of garbage you see, plastics everywhere on the beach. But yet these hotels are making money. But they are sitting there waiting for government to clean the very front doorstep of their hotels. They only care about the inside, not the front steps, not their doorstep at all. You see plastic litter right along the street of Lumley and Beach Road. And it's even worse when the sites that are yet there, that the people have bought, they've fenced half of it. The area where it hasn't been fenced, you will see people dumping trash there. You go along the beach, you see so much trash. All those building sites have become like dumping sites, and it's so unsightly. And yet these hotels are there. Nobody cares to know who has bought this piece of land that is sitting there waiting for somebody to come and clean that site. I mean, this should be your responsibility collectively. You should not even encourage. Take ownership of your environment, of your community. That's your community. Take ownership. Who has done this? Make it known. You know, insist that they clean their sites. Because this is what will bring you tourists. This is what will bring you money. But if you all are sitting down there waiting for government, everybody, or government not do this, government has so much to do. Honestly. What are we as Sierra Leoneans doing for our own very country? We go overseas, we come back, we proudly talk about other people's country. Oh, if you see that country where they fine, if it's where they clean. But who are responsible for cleaning? They ensure they clean their place. Nobody litters their doorsteps. But yet, you people sit here and you expect government to do every single thing. You know, but yet you make the money. But you don't care about the environment. Some of your beach bars, honestly, if you look underneath the deck, they dump their trash there. If you look right at the back of the sand where the beach is, they dump their trash there. But you people don't clean. You don't even employ staff to clean that very place. You only care about employing staff to serve food, to clean inside your hotels and not your environment. It's like it's not your business. For me, it's a shame. Honestly, it's a shame. Thank you.
So this is hard conversation. We need to be very frank with hotels, frank with our commercial banks, also frank with government. I mean, it's a movement. I mean, we have the able deputy minister to at least steer this ship forward and getting answers, solutions to all of these challenges we're talking about. So I don't think we would want to further deliberate on the next.
Now that we have launched the Sierra Leone Waste Management Team Association, and we also have the recyclers there. I think what you should do now is try as best as possible, give your cards to all the hotels, so they won't sit back and say, we don't have anybody to come and collect our trash. Now they should have your cards to say when they have their trash, they could call you to come and collect their waste. Yeah, do the same thing to schools. Go around, leave your cars in schools, different schools, marketplaces, everywhere. So when if they really want to take care of their environment, they will not have this excuse of saying we have gathered our waste, but we don't know, we have no one to collect them. Now we have a fortified and approved by government and launched by us as well. You know. So let them not have any more excuse, especially these hotels. Thank you.
Just to make a statement directly to that, Freetown has been divided into a block system. There will be a different waste management collection company in each block. Right now, everyone is organizing themselves and preparing their strategies because we will be launching soon. And so when that does happen, within every single block, whichever company is responsible for that block, they will begin to reach out to the schools, the communities, the hotels, businesses, anyone who's within that block, they will start reaching out. And so that strategy and organization will be discussed with you. There'll be an app that'll be used to where you'll be scheduling your pickups. And so all that over the next couple months, let's say, will be released publicly, and we'll be in touch with you guys to discuss how that's gonna operate.
Maybe in Go Circular Week 2026, we can think about cleanest block in Freetown, right? So I live in Brooklyn, New York, and we have a problem, which is snow. There's been more snow this year than any other year. The government actually can't manage to clean it up. It's the homeowner's responsibility to clear the snow in front of their property. If someone breaks their leg on the ice in front of their property, the homeowner is responsible for the medical care of that person. So you know what happens? Everyone is out there cleaning snow. As soon as it starts, from the beginning of your property to the end, outside into the street, that is your responsibility. I've been out there 4 in the morning, because by 7, it's got to be clear, right? So you got to clear the snow. I just wonder, what if through communications campaign, right, we can create this movement for plastic in front of your house and create this sense of pride. There's a sense of pride on my block. You don't want to be the one who hasn't cleared the snow, right? You don't want to be the one with plastic. So what if that was kind of created into a sense of community pride, that you own that bit of street, and that is your responsibility to keep it clean. Thanks.
Okay, then. Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Deputy Minister. You had
PROBLUE and I have been discussing as of the day before yesterday to see what we can do in terms of putting ideas together to help solve our sand mining problems.
Amira, you ready? Yeah, so the reality is we've had a full menu of next steps during our discussions. And you heard from Luis that we have from now to October. So it's going to be go, 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 go. Okay.
Okay, so we're just, I think we got the takeaway from this session. And I'm happy to see that most of what is mentioned really fall directly within what we plan to do in a way or another. The details are gathered in terms of what we need to specifically focus on under each of those components. But maybe let me present quickly what are the components of this phase 3, what are the general activities, but definitely under each activity, we will be reaching out to the various kind of stakeholders, responsible representatives to go deeply into it and to go into a co-planning and co-implementation of each of those activities. So we talk about the green label, we talk about the program. So for phase 3 from now till October 2023, we're scaling up the green label reward, where if you know any hotel, beach bar, tourism actor that are really willing to tackle the plastic pollution, let them reach out to us, let them reach out to us, and then we're happy to provide training on the guidelines that we provided before. We're continuing working with APA and National Tourist Board to make it official, the incentive systems that are being presented during this week. One of the things and a shift is that too many people here mentioned today about the importance of segregation. So the main one of the addition to what we've been doing the past 2 years is to look into models for source separation, whether through having jumbo bags, bins, 3 colors, 4 colors, 2 colors, etc. But this will be determined as well through the work with the hotels and restaurant and tourism actor, and to facilitate the off-taking of recyclables of plastic from hotels and restaurants by recyclers. This is where we have Premier Enviro playing role. This is where we have the Sierra Leone Waste Management Association playing role. And this is where we have the National Waste Management Association playing role. And for that, data is important. Directory of recyclers, off-takers, as well as important for access, for easy access. The second component, we call it, this is the technical word, but it's really the Go Circular Coastal Community, which we look into improved waste segregation. We're not talking cleanup for the reasons that we mentioned here. We're talking about waste segregation and recovery of material, and material, you mentioned material management and recovery of material. We talk plastic because it's the most visible one, is the value chain that is still tricky to address currently in Sierra Leone, and I would say in the region as well, from technical infrastructure and policy point of view. So in the coastal community program, what we're doing is definitely awareness raising with community. Someone mentioned that. We mentioned maybe cleanest community in 2026. Just like, we're planning already, which is very nice. So we have a community awareness. We're doing piloting 2 coastal community for now, Mahera, and then we're starting Lomli. So people will then come from Lomli and I wait for you. Okay. So when we say Lomli, I think we cannot say Lomli without Aberdeen, to be honest. So I would say 2 to 3 coastal community. As well, the segregation model, Mahera, there's a collection center, there's buyback center, there's a private sector. Lomli will require as well a kind of a similar model. And then as well, the off-taking of the plastic from the tourism hotspot. Schools, same model, same thinking. If you notice that the 3 components really follow the same kind of a system, no? A system 1 of awareness raising, education, training, knowledge sharing, etc. System 2 of segregation from the source and separation from the source, and the system number 3 is the off-taking from the private sector and the other people in the recycling value chain, and the waste management and recycling value chain. So this is for the school. And communication, so we have a main component, and I think it's a very important component. The Go Circular Week 2025 was part of the knowledge sharing component. So that's one, we're done with it. We see you in 2026, by God in power. And then we're done with that. I'm so happy when I was writing this and I saw it like we did it. I had goosebumps. And then we have the plastic leadership platform. It's planned to have 2 plastic leadership platforms. So this is the first one of this year. And by October, we'll be sitting here again to talk about what has been done and to learn about what to improve. And the content, my comrades here that talk about communication and content as well. So content creation is a very big part of it. By the end of this week, we have our videographers and communication team will be creating a summary video from this Go Circular Week, and then it will be distributed, but as well the awareness raising, the other communication as well aspect in it, engagement with different and various kind of segments of the community will be part of it. So this is phase 3 in a nutshell. We have our guidance about how to move about from all the comments that were shared, and we go see. So that's it. If there is any questions, any clarification needed, for transparency, we have a group, the Plastic Leadership Platform WhatsApp group, and then the video was shared on it. And then we had a comment from one of the businesses, is that if the Go Circular Week can be national. I didn't respond, but that was one of the comments that we received on it. So thank you very much, everyone. Closing remark?
Any more questions? No more questions. Well, every good thing must come to an end, right? Especially when we have a very big event this evening. On behalf of my ministry, the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, I want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you, first of all, to PROBLUE and World Bank for your support, your tremendous support. I tell you, this is, I don't even have words to express how grateful we are for the support you are giving, not only to our ministry or our government, but to our country as a whole. Because this means a lot to the President, our President, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, because this is close to his heart. He is not pleased with the plastic pollution we have, especially when it's taking over our country and causing so much mayhem to us right now in terms of diseases and everything. So thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you also to Mr. Walid and team. Premier, what is it again? Premier Environmental Solutions. In these solutions, indeed, you have brought in tremendous solutions to our problems. And we are looking forward to working with the Sierra Leone National Waste Management Team as well. You know, let's see who beats, whether it's Premier Environment or the National or the Sierra Leone Waste Management. But I guess you both can work together. I know you're part of them. I know you're part of them. But what I'm saying is, let's see, because you are doing so well in trying to collect the plastic waste, and let's see how much of that they will be able to collect. Of understanding. So thank you very much. And to the hotels, we are looking forward to your commitment in terms of what you can do to help clean our environment, and also what you can do for your country. You know, we have our national pledge. Before we leave here, I would like us to all stand and recite our national pledge. Because you know why? Let's not just sing it because it's a song, it sounds nice in the ears, but let us pay attention to the words. The pride that we take in making sure our country, Sierra Leone, is at the height of development in terms of cleaning and beautifying our country. Let's take pride in each and every word that we are going to sing here, and let's make it our own, and let it be reflected in our environment. And for the schools, I hope, as we recite the pledge, the national pledge, you will take it into consideration to explain to your pupils, not only singing it or reciting it in the morning, but actually explain the meaning of the words. Because if we all pay attention to our national pledge, honestly, we know that collectively we can make a big difference. To everyone that is here, I want to say thank you for coming. To my EPA agency, I know you're working very hard, and I'm proud of you people. I always say that in everywhere I go. And to tourism, our co-partners, thank you for your tremendous work. You people have always, always been there with us. I want to say a big thank you. In fact, tourism, they actually started this thing last year. Just as environment, we are quick to take it up. We snatched it. Because we said, yes, tourism business is all man business, but environment business, now all man business. Without environment, the tourism industry will not boom. Not so, there will be no tourism. So before we go, let's say, go circular. Go circular. Go circular. Go circular. Environment business. Now all man business. With tourism business. Now all man business. Let's recite our national pledge. Oh, thank you to the media team. Thank you so much for being with us right through the week. Thank you so much. I think we should have an award for them as well. Yeah. I pledge my love and loyalty to my country.
So with that, we say Alhamdulillah. The curtains are down. Quick announcement. Unfortunately, we've been struggling. Oh, she said, thank God. We've been struggling with my co-partner here to get the kids to provide something to energize the system. Thank God she's here. So you will just grab your... No, yeah, it's plastic free. Please reject any plastic that is offered to you there. Okay? So you can grab and sooner. And for those of you that have been invited for the awards night tonight, please join us in celebrating those circular businesses and also circular pioneers. Please. Thank you very much.